Aloha and welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from Lake Whatcom, Washington. Woo! Yes, where Hope Johnson is on the dating scene, apparently. Yes, enjoying so much just the different interactions anywhere I go. I go to a therapy place every day where I go and get compression therapy and some light therapy and sauna and cryo, whole body cryo. Get to see a lot of people and just noticing how this sense of completion is already present within all relating. Like there's nothing more to get out of any experience. There's nothing more than this relationship. And this relationship is the one ongoing relationship. When we have opportunities to relate with one another, with other versions of ourselves, that's always only to express the one relationship. It is so sweet. So there's no right or wrong form that the relationships should take. There's no right or wrong form to them. You know, it's like one of my friends, when he saw my writing about patterns that he and I were playing out together, he automatically thought he shouldn't hang out with me. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't hang out with me. It's fucking awesome whenever you come into my experience. Whenever anyone does come into my experience, and if it's congruent with me and it's happy, then we keep on interacting. If it's not congruent, then it's like, no, thank you, just move on. It's really simple like that. There's nothing to teach anyone. That's what I noticed too. It's what I've been noticing in my relating lately. This urge to correct people or show them the way has been very quiet. That urge has been very quiet, just to enjoy people. In my writings, I may write about patterns that are played out in certain instances, but it doesn't mean that I'm not also enjoying the interaction and enjoying the person. It's not like I'm throwing the person away. They could pop up anywhere, and it's always for the same purpose, just revealing what's actually true. One of the men I was talking with in dating today, it says on my profile that I'm a minister. And he said, would you preach me something? And then something just came for him. Something just came for him. Like you're complete as you are. There's nothing to get out of any of your experiences except coming to know the truth of your being. That's all there is to get out of any experience. And he was just like, whoa, what the fuck? This is like two interactions in. He tells me to preach him something. He's like, do you always talk like that? And I go, I can talk all kinds of different ways. You just ask for it. So you ask for it, so that's what comes. It's it's I don't have anyone to impress. I just get to be free and express freedom and enjoy the freedom and of the dance. If I'm ever talking to anyone and it doesn't feel like easy and fun and stuff like that, I don't even have to chat back. That's just normal on, on platforms like that. It's really sweet. And also, it's like time wise, it doesn't need to take up that much time. That's what I notice. Especially if you're just really aware of how it feels. See, when there's an attachment to an outcome, and I see the mindset that people are going through, You know, they're sensing that when they meet that person that meets their needs the way they want their needs to be met, they're going to have this sense of relief. Right? It's like finally, I can rest now. I've been searching and searching and searching, and now I can rest. See, that kind of mindset is going to shape your experiences of the whole thing, including once you finally meet someone. You know, I wouldn't want to be that person on the other end of seeking, 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 so till finally I can have, ah, finally rest, right? It's like discovering how to rest right where you are within whatever it is that seems to be occurring. For me, I'm always coming to know myself. So it's like whenever they say something where I get a sense of disappointment or something like that, if there's a sense of disappointment, the disappointment doesn't say I want them to be different. The disappointment is just information. You know, it might be showing me, oh, this particular person isn't for me. That's not for me to relate with. So things tend to pan out very fast. It's not like there's this feeling like I'm wasting all this time, like I'm saying too much or anything like that. It's just light and flirty and whatever is in the moment. Uh, and a lot of them are just like passing through. A lot of them are just like passing through. You say a couple things back and forth, and then they disappear, or I either just stop the conversation or whatever the situation is. But I've already met two people in person, and I had sex with both of them. Not at the same time. Yes.
Can we back up to that that perception that you've gotten a sense of relief?
Yes.
Um, One of my other teachers that I like to listen to, someone was saying, "Well, Keith, I cannot deny that I got a huge check in the mail and I felt relief."
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Well, how long did that last?" "Okay, well, yeah, actually only a couple hours." So what we're doing is that sense of relief is actually real.
Uh-huh.
It's just that we have chosen it for ourselves, and then we're really quick to cover up that we're the ones that allowed the relaxation, and we made it as if it had to do with finding the perfect person, or getting the check in the mail. But
Right.
that relief is real. It's just, where did it come from?
Yes.
You
So you're
know?
getting a glimpse of relief. Like, let's say you just got a big check in the mail and you get this glimpse of relief, and then automatically the mind moves to explain why you got the relief. So it's the same thing with dating. The mind moves to explain why you got the relief, but really that's relief. It's just relief. You know, it's because you believe you need something to happen in order to have relief that you're always projecting a world where sometimes it happens, right? What you're looking for though is to live in that relief, just to live in that sense of relief. And then whomever or whatever arises within that same sense is just recognized like that, right? So then there's not this grippy attachment to people or things or anything like that. What I notice is when there's this sense that you need relief, you're doing it because there's a goal, you want an outcome, and you need some relief. When you finally do meet someone and you have a romantic interaction with them, that's when it starts to show you get disillusioned. Oh, maybe this relief was misplaced, right? It always does that. It'll show you. You'll be disillusioned through the relationship itself. Now, one thing I've heard that keeps people in term relationship is they had a really bad experience dating. So that is no reason to stay in a relationship. If that's what you're using, to stay in a relationship, it's going to make the relationship sour and shallow too. I started to say that shallow and sour. And there's going to be a sense of, I deserve better than this. And you do. You totally do. It's just that, you think you had a shitty time dating, so you don't want to go back to that. There's never any going back. It's not going back because you're constantly changeful. Now you can keep yourself in the same kind of mindset loops, and then it does totally look like you're going back. You may go into a relationship for a little while, and then it breaks apart, and then you totally get the sense that you're just going back. It's all this back to the dating. Oh, what's it like now? How are the guys out there now? Right? It's like they're always reflecting our own mind. Yeah. And they're so sweet. I love that. I love the sweetness. I see that in everyone, no matter what they're doing. I had one guy just, I'm not sure what he was doing, but he just kept on keeping the conversation kind of like he's cutting and pasting things into the chat. And at one point, I just said, I just prefer a deeper conversation. These are cute and everything, but I just prefer a deeper conversation. And then he just kept on doing the same thing, and I'm just like, interesting, And it's not like you need to evaluate in an analytical way or anything like that. Just notice, do I like this feeling? That's all there is to it. If I like this feeling that I get when I have this conversation with this person, then I'll continue it. If I don't, then I won't. It's just so simple. There doesn't even have to be like any even any pattern analyzing. When it comes to pattern analyzing, the time to do that is when you feel hooked. See, that's when you need that. When there's not that hook, you can see really clearly, okay, how does it feel interacting with this person? Do I fucking like it or not? It's really that. That's what all the signals are saying. Disappointment, anything like that. Do I like this or not? And it's fun because it's kind of like I don't know about that game speed dating. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard of it before, and it kind of like reminds me of how it is for me. I'll just unmatch. I'll just go unmatch, 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 and then a few of them will be matching. Sometimes no one will be matching, so I won't even be talking to anyone. It's fun. But I had no idea both times when I met these two dudes, you know, it kind of occurred to me, okay, maybe there might be sex. Nah, probably not. They're too young.
I would prefer if they were too old.
You think that'll be more true if they're too old? Yeah, probably. Right? Yeah, because we're kind of like at the same level. What I notice about young dudes, like dudes that are in the like 31 to 39 or something, they're like in that place where they have the same kind of sexual drive as me. So that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm discovering from all this. Um, so yeah, both times it kind of took me by surprise, and I was just kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah, it was just like I check in with it, and it's like, oh, the energy feels congruent. I mean, I just kind of like use my body as like a what would it be? Like a tuning fork. Let's say it's like a tuning fork. Like it's like, how does that ring in the tone with the sensation? That does that feel good? Does that feel nice? And when it's a yes, it's a yes. And you know the dude that I told you, I told him that was just the worst sex I've ever had. And he can tell I'm not mad, and he can tell that it's really light. And so then we're having a conversation about it. He's like, "Oh," and he's learning things from the conversation and stuff like that. And he still contacts me. He contacted me today. He's trying to have a video call with me. Um, really sweet. And then the second one, the guy was 31, and I met him through like this friendship area where you can come and meet some friends. And I go and I go, I like to go dancing, so we meet for dancing. And oh my goodness, within 2 minutes, our energies are just like, woo. And he's just, he's not seeming like a young dude. He's large, and he's looking me right in the eyes, and he's got this magnetic energy, and he's spinning me around on the dance floor. And yeah, that was just so surprising and sweet and amazing. And it's like there's nothing else. That's it. If interactions continue, that's fine. If interactions don't, that's fine. Having the experience of living in a way where people are just allowed to dance through my field, and there's no kind of obligation, there's no sense of need to continue or discontinue, really. I mean, uh, even the unmatch, that's what they do on Facebook. That's what they have on Facebook. You just unmatch people. Even the unmatch, it's just so light and playful. It's not like I'm doing anything. It's like this play is just occurring, and it's just being allowed to occur. And this is what I see with coming into a sense of complete confidence in the self that I made. This make believe self, with the personality, with the desires, with the urges, with whatever it is, complete confidence that it's perfect for awakening this mind right now. It doesn't need to get any better than this. This self, sure, my experience can get better. My experience can get way more exciting, way more. I know that. I see that. It's obvious. Is like, as much as I'm willing to allow for myself, that's what I'm going to see. And right now, I'm just seeing how to allow more and more, especially through all these interactions. I notice these interactions, this is not something I'm choosing. The dating life is not something I'm choosing, it's something that's given. That's how it is with everything that comes up in your life. It's all given. You're not choosing it. You're not choosing it. Like in the moment, I'm not choosing to have sex with this dude that I just fucking met dancing. uh, I didn't choose it. The choice I'm making is whether I'm still confident in the self of form, no matter what apparent choices are being made. See, that's the thing. That's the key. And that's what gets missed all the time. People are focused on improving themselves. Thinking you're not good enough. What kind of relationships are you going to attract? It's like, of course there's gonna seem like a bunch of dildos out there. What? You like that term? Come on, let me just use you for this. What's up?
So when I sort of listen to what you're talking about, this is just sort of one example, but it happens in so many areas, where it seems like the arrogance of the ego
Yeah.
to think that, so you're like, oh, let's see what other experiences are going to come my way, and of course I deserve better experiences, and oh, the sex wasn't good. These are all like, isn't it just such the arrogance of the ego to think that any sort of evaluation where it's sort of like a blanket statement of like, because there is no such thing as like this blanket experience of like, was the sex good or bad? Because even in the moment, it's just like, it's just second by second.
Yeah.
So how arrogant for the ego to think that there's any value or power in just being like, well, that experience, no, that sucked, and this experience was great, and like,
Well, okay, I see where you're going with this, and I see what this is,
yeah,
okay? So look, the experience itself, it's fucking perfect,
right,
right? So let's go to the bad sex because that's a really good example. It's
right,
a really good example. Okay, so it's like, when I'm communicating with the person, he can tell I'm not condemning the experience at all.
yeah,
He can feel it. I'm not condemning the experience. This is the experience. That's all. It's perfect as it is. See, the thing where the ego sneaks in here is going, you shouldn't be experiencing it. It's bad sex. You've evaluated the experience. It's like, no, I didn't evaluate shit. That's a fucking experience right there. The experience is that's the worst sex I've ever had. I don't have to go in and fucking sample other sexual or anything. It's just like, boom, that's the experience. This is what I mean about confidence in the self of form, confidence in the self you made, full confidence, right? So it's like, if I have an experience of really bad sex, fuck yeah, I'm glad I had that experience. In fact, I communicated with that with him too. I'm really glad we had this experience. He's like, me too. Right, right. So that's the thing. It's not like trying to cover this thing up. The ego's real sneaky this way. He will fuck you up. Okay. So if you're going, I can't have certain experiences, otherwise I'm an arrogant ego. That's the arrogance, right? It's like I shouldn't be having that experience, otherwise it's arrogance. That's actually the arrogance sneaking in. See, full confidence in the self of form is full freedom to express whatever it is that's being experienced, right? Also, when you're freely expressing whatever it is that seems to be experiencing from the place of also knowing your union, that's where it's really potent. Right? That's where the experiences are really potent because it's not making separation anymore. It's allowing the self of form, which is all experience, yourself, that's also part of your experience, yourself that you made with all its tendencies, with any way that it seems to be, you're just allowing that to be okay. And even more than okay, perfect for what it's useful for. The ideal self. This is it. There's no ideal self to reach. This is it, the ideal self. And you know what? The ideal self, it's changeful. It's not some pie in the sky fucking righteous image that you have in your mind. That's making a false idol. See? So where I'm pointing to you now is toward complete, not only acceptance, complete confidence. This is beyond acceptance of the self of form that you made. Complete confidence that it is perfect for this function. Okay? It is the means, it's bringing about the end of perceiving in separation. Jesus has talked about it in A Course in Miracles. Don't you trust the means? If I'm saying that this is your function and then this is the result of serving your function, don't you trust the means? Don't you have confidence that the means you've been given are exactly perfect for this? You can't lose. You only seem to lose for a little while you're condemning the means. Right?
say something?
Yes.
In my experience, it seems like I'm just wondering when's it gonna get to where if I was honest about someone's like, well, this is actually my authentic experience. What I get back is then everyone around me is scrambling and trying to fix. It's also like, oh shit, well, I did a bad job and I'm seen as um condemning. And so now, people are like, oh, well, how can we fix this? And it's like, that's what I seem to get back. And then that makes me want to check out because I know that that's not going to go anywhere real. So then it's like, oh, great, here we are again. Another waste. I was just trying to be authentic, and now we're going
Yes.
into this whole downward spiral of, oh, great, now we got to fix something.
Okay, I
And then,
love this.
yeah, and then I just still am not getting the reflection back from others that people are willing to hear this.
Okay.
And so then I'm wanting to do less communicating with people because it just feels like such an energy drain.
Yes.
Like,
I know what you mean. And I totally got you. I totally got you. I have experienced that totally. So Natalie's hearing me here talking about being really authentic and just saying that's the worst sex ever, for instance. And having it just be totally okay, right? She's going, man, anytime I do that, the reflection I see is everyone scrambling to fix, a bunch of chaos ensues. Yeah. So it makes me want to shut down. It makes me want to not express how I'm feeling. It makes me want to not ask for what I want, right? Because she's getting that interpretation. Okay. So here's the thing to see within yourself. Just because I'm expressing it to you like this doesn't mean that there's anything for you to fix. Right. And see, the thing is, when you see their reflection coming back at you and you tend to take it personal, then it seems like you should be doing something different. You're doing it wrong. It must mean you're doing it wrong because now they're chaotic, right? That's not the case. You take the chaos and you let it come through, right? Let the chaos come through and go, oh, that was that's not how I mean it, right? It may have felt like I meant it like that because, see, it's all feeling. So you're manifesting feeling. So it may have felt when you said it, it may have felt like that. And you may not have even been aware of that feeling because there's so much unconscious feeling going on. But everything is manifestation of feeling, and feeling is manifested out of thought. So it's ultimately thought. Okay. So the intermediary there is feeling. So you were having a feeling, maybe unconscious, and what they're reflecting to you is you're saying that comes with that feeling when you say it. So this is your opportunity right now to correct it. Maybe when I said that, or you might even be like, I'm sure when I said that, there was an ill feeling with it, but I don't mean it. I don't mean that there's anything for you to change or fix about it. See, this helps you see this is the demonstrating to your mind that A Course in Miracles talks about, because this allows you to see what feeling you have when you make a statement like that, right? It's not bad, it's not good, it's information. See? So this allows compassion for yourself. This is where your compassion comes in, and through the compassion, change occurs. Through, remember the happy learner thing. This is also relevant here. Okay, to be a happy learner, it's a matter of realizing that whatever you're doing right now, it's potent. It's bringing you to the truth. To let it do that, to let it be bringing you to the truth, is you seeing it this way. I'm going to go over it again. You say what you want, and then other people react in chaos, right? You get the perception that you should change your behavior as to not disturb them. That's the ego. Okay. Really, what's going on is you're witnessing the effect of what it feels like to you to speak your truth. That's the effect of it. You're seeing it outside of yourself because you weren't aware of it within yourself. So now what you do with that is you recognize that that's a feeling you have attached to it. What's a feeling made of? Thought. It's a thought that needs correction. So instead of clamming down, what I've done in my experience living with a family, if as I've told people, I know when I said it, it came with that energy. That doesn't have anything to do with you. That's about the way I talk to myself within myself. You see that? The reason they're reacting is because of the way I talk to myself. All right. So when they hear that, and I've gone through this experience living with a family, when they hear that, then they feel that and they get it. You know why? Because I'm feeling it and I'm getting it. I'm demonstrating to my mind what's going on there. So it's not like I'm trying to prevent anything I say from coming from the ego or coming from a place of hurt, let's say. I'm there to witness it and bring it to the truth and say what it is. The first time I experienced that was, I think, 2012. It was with my daughter. Might have been 2014, actually. That doesn't really matter. With my daughter. And we started on a pattern where my voice goes up. I don't know which one does it first, but we started on a pattern where we're playing an emotion. It was an emotional loop, and then it just came out of my mouth, all kinds of pattern stuff, and I forgot what it was because it seems to be a while ago, and immediately I go, that was not about you. That was total self-talk. And I saw the recognition in her eyes right there. It's like when you recognize, you help them recognize. I saw the recognition in her eyes. It was like, oh my goodness. And there's no sense anymore that I could be disappointed in her, right? And like I said, any sense of disappointment is just showing me, oh, this experience isn't easeful. This particular experience isn't easeful. It's information it's information for moving toward greater ease. That's all. So disappointment becomes uh, more like a signal than this idea that someone should do something different to solve the disappointment. What I notice in dating, one thing that gets disappointment going for me is when they just wave at me. So all that shows me is I don't need to respond to that. So it's not like I'm going to get into a pattern where I'm going, what is wrong with guys that they don't know what to do? They have to just wave at you. They don't know to start a conversation, maybe tell you, you know, uh, I'm interested in dancing too, or I go dancing over here and I would love to go dancing with you or something like that. I don't even get into all that stuff. It's like, and it's kind of like a process too. It's a quick process for me. It like goes really quick. It's like, okay, what is this? Okay, there's a sense of disappointment. Oh, okay, I don't feel like carrying on this conversation anymore. Simple, right? And the way to you could say the way to greater ease is a matter of opening up to feel everything instead of thinking about it like in terms of what they should be doing. I could just see what brings ease for me and do that. Is it more ease for me to be looking at the lake than having a conversation, carrying a conversation with someone who wants to start out with a wave? Then that's what I'll do. Or when someone tells me, for instance, they live in Linwood, which I don't know how far is Linwood, like an hour. And
Yeah, and traffic.
yeah, he stays in he stays in Natalie doesn't like it at all. She does not like going to Linwood. Yeah, apparently he stays in Linwood, this one of the guys I was just talking to. And then he said, "Yeah, we should get together." And I was like, "Okay." And then he's like, "Well, how about if we meet halfway?" Unmatch.
Yeah.
It's fun. I don't have to train anyone, right? I don't have to teach them how to fucking do anything. I just go, "Do I like that interaction?" One asked me, "What are you looking on here? Or what are you looking for on here?" And I said, "I'm looking for relating." Well, I guess we're complete with that. That's what we're doing. That's it. We're accomplished. I was looking for relating, and that's what I'm doing. Right?
Well, I'm glad to hear that you haven't gotten sucked into the whole sub world.
Sub world. Okay,
Yeah,
there's a sub world.
I'm moving into online dating, and then all of a sudden people start to realize, wait, the dudes that are on these apps don't have any money. So, or the chicks too. So it's like, who are the high value? Where are the high value dating apps?
Oh,
All of a
fun.
sudden, now you've entered a whole new world.
High value dating apps.
Which
Okay.
I've never been able to find them. No,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no, it has, but I think there's talk out there that it's like, oh yeah, they're like tens of thousands of dollars per month. And so if you actually
Oh,
want to meet,
funny.
if you want to meet the people that are high quality,
High quality
then
people. That's funny.
yeah, you're gonna be shelling out thousands for.
Oh, that's
It's
hilarious.
a little secret, like, oh, you're not allowed in unless, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I don't know.
uh,
I'm enjoying the interactions that I'm having right now. It's great. Yeah. I mean, one guy came from Canada. He came from Canada to dance with me in Bellingham. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, that's sweet. And I don't need that much action. I'm pretty good with chilling out by the lake, especially when, man, I go out. It's a lot of action. Apparently, I don't know what's going to happen going forward.
I mean, I think we would all agree that you're pretty advanced on the path to waking up from this dream, right? And so, how are you uh, seeing these men where it's like, okay, there are no men, there's just one beloved
Yeah,
son, son
that's
of God,
right.
and like, is that like an ever present sort of awareness, or does that still like ebb and flow where you have to like remind yourself? It's like,
Okay. Natalie's question. First of all, she said, I seem to be close to awakening or something like that. Far along the path as far as my perceiving goes. Yeah. And here's the fun thing about that. Let's just start with that part. Like if you're perceiving me like that, it's actually you. I'm not kidding. I'm not saying that to be fucking zen or anything like that. Sometimes I say someone will go, "That sounds really zen." And I'm like, "I'm not trying to sound zen. I'm fucking serious about this." If you get a perception that I'm any kind of far along, that is you. It can only be you. And see, the reason why you get a perception that someone outside of yourself is far along or further along than you is because you haven't accepted your state of consciousness, the state of consciousness that you've actually achieved, right? So whatever it is, people have different perceptions of how far along a person is. That's actually you. It really is. Okay, so the second part of the question, do I stay constantly in a state of seeing that there are no men in the world? There's only one love. There's only one relationship. Do I stay in constant awareness of that? Yes, I do. Do I also stay in conscious awareness of it and also get hooked? Yes, I do. That's why I use pattern recognition. It helps a lot. I'm telling you guys, when you can recognize the patterns without taking patterns personal or anything like that, but you could just recognize the patterns. It's like, man, I'm not doing my friend any kind of service, helping him to strategize our relationship. Okay. I'm not doing him any kind of service. That's why when I recognize the pattern, I recognize how he's strategizing the relationship. Then the next thing is I don't play into that pattern. I don't play into that pattern. I'm still totally in love, in the sense of unity with him and everyone. I love everyone equally, but I'm not going to buy in. And here's how it would look playing into that pattern, just going, oh, and having some hope that the relationship is going to change down the road. And then when I see it, it's like, oh, fuck, no, I'm not going to do that. And it's not a matter of saying I'm gonna hope or I'm not gonna hope, but it's just that I'm aware of the hope. I'm more aware of the hope that's basically false hope that the relationship is gonna go somewhere. I'm aware of that. And it's like, I see how it hurts, and no way am I going there. No way am I going there. As far as the person and everything, I fucking love him. He can pop up any time he wants. He seems to be a little bit scared to pop up every time he wants because I see right through the games, right? And he's expressed that he's feeling a little bit afraid, and I think that's sweet. And I'm going to keep on seeing through the games. That's what I do. So um, people have to just decide whether they want to relate with me or not. Ah, okay. And really, that decision, where it is coming up as a decision for someone, that decision is, do I want to be seen in my patterns and also as the truth that I am? Right? Or I want to be seen those two ways. Now I want to be seen completely in my patterns and also for the truth of who I am. Not very many people do, apparently. Which is perfect for me because I like a lot of alone time. Whenever I see people, I'm like, oh my goodness, so glad you're here. I get a lot of alone time. It's nice. Okay. When we are all children of God, how can there be high value people? Well, yeah, exactly, Durga. And that's just Natalie was just reflecting one of the like subgenres of dating.
It's a hook.
And I've heard talk of this.
Yeah, yeah.
I've already heard talk about the high value thing, you know? Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we're we're all at the same value for sure. It's just, we have different ways of relating that we enjoy. I seem to enjoy that masculine feminine polarity. That's what I like. That turns me on. When that dude came into the dance club and he just started dancing with me and he started making eye contact with me and he was obviously sexually charged with me and he was showing it. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. Right? That's how I know. It's like, that's a fuck yeah, I like that, you know? And so it's not like I want to like go, oh, I got to keep this guy. This is rare. This is not going to happen again. It's like, no, you just like, it's just information. I like that. That's great. I like that kind of I like that kind of polarity where there's this masculine and he's just like, yeah, this is the way it is. I fucking yeah, that's cool. It's fun to see too, and getting all of the experiences lets me see what is it that I'm into? What do I desire? You know, because desire itself it needs to be allowed to be expressed. It needs to just be allowed to be uh, because it's the resistance to desire that prevents us from having the experiences that will open us up to the truth. Like we can't be there. Let's say we can't be there for our experiences. The experiences are always coming. But when we're resisting our desire, we're in this mode where we're kind of like, yeah, I wish it was better, but I shouldn't think like that. This is okay. You're see the thing is your mind actually isn't in a miraculous state in that moment. That's not a miraculous state of mind. It's recognizing here's how it looks when it's a miraculous state of mind. It's recognizing, oh, there doesn't seem to be a complete ease and relaxation in this kind of experience, in this situation. Oh, that's informational. That's all. See, of course, it's going to get better if you let it be informational. The trouble is, you don't let it be informational, so you get stuck in loops. And that's, I'm speaking from experience. It was truly when I let it be informational that I wasn't feeling like fully turned on and on fire in my long-term relationship. Just letting that be informational, right? Until eventually it was just the obvious next step. I'm just moving on from that. But if I didn't let that be informational, it'd be kind of like a crawl towards death. You see people do it. They're like, now we're getting old and crotchety together. It's like it's like there's no need for that. There's um there's no need for it. People are doing it out of fear. I'm telling you, it's like this fearful, what if I don't ever have anyone love me again? What if I get too old and ugly and unsightly that people don't want me? I better hurry up. Right. I've been doing a little research too. I saw this guy online who was talking about how he could help women to get the men of their whatevers. And I go, oh, I'm interested to see what this dude has to say. So I listened to him for a while. He wanted to sell something. I forgot how much it was, but I listened to him for a while and he gave these different 7 steps. I think it was 7 steps. And some of them were really, really good. One of them is recognize your value. I mean, that is huge. It's like recognize that basically, you are the prize in the relationship if you are kind of like me, like you like that masculine feminine polarity. The only way that's going to work like that is you being the prize. That's like part of the polarity. That's what makes it a polarity, actually. Right? Once it's just like here handed to him on a silver platter, he's like, meh. uh, and then going places to meet the people that you want to meet. For me, that's just me going where I like to go. Right? It's not like I'm going to try to go anywhere to meet a particular person. I'm just going to go wherever I like to go and let that be the natural thing. If I'm not, I guess if I was going, okay, I want to meet a really rich guy, I'm going to go to the yacht club. I've heard that's what you do if you want to meet a really rich guy. Um, yeah, I'm down for a yacht. I don't know what they do at yacht clubs, but I don't like going on boats. So there's a lot of barfing when that happens. No, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just making a joke. I don't know. I mean, I have experienced barfing on boats, but you never know. Last time someone asked me to do that when I was in Hawaii, I said, fuck no, not today. Okay. Durga said, is it attitude that distinguishes calling attack honesty and informational relating? Uh, yeah, okay. So yes, it's like, okay, yes, that's good. Calling attack honesty. Yes. So there's a difference between honest, like this attack honesty, and actually being authentic, right? Actually just being authentic. So when you're trying to attack, there's a whole different kind of energy with it. Now, I have been able to, and I've had reflections from people telling me, you're the only one who can say something like that and it be okay. And yeah, it's the vibe, it's the energy it's not in the words, it's in the energy. And what does the energy come from? Any energy comes from feeling. So it's how you're feeling as you're delivering certain words. So if you're delivering words that are diminishing someone, you feel it. They can't really diminish a person, but that's how you experience it. You experience those words as being diminishing toward a person. It's your experience. See that? They can feel you. So when you're saying it, you may even be saying it not consciously intending to diminish the person, but since your whole system is set up for diminishment because you self-diminish all the time, it comes across as diminishing in times when you don't even mean to be diminishing. So, to clarify something like that, if something comes out and someone reacts as if they were just attacked, just letting them know, I know that came out like that, but it's not personal to you, right? Just being aware when you get a reaction from someone like that where they seem hurt or chaotic or scrambled or something like that, it's like that is not the way I meant it for you. That feeling, that has to do with my own self-talk. That's not the way I meant it for you. You might even say, I'm sorry it came out that like that. Or if you know him really well, you're welcome. If you're really good spiritual companions, you're welcome, and they'll get it. Because no one's ever doing anything wrong here. Okay. No one's ever doing anything wrong. These are not slip ups. That's another way the ego looks at this stuff. It's like you're slipping up, right? It's like, no, I'm not slipping up. I'm never slipping up. That's not what's happening here. This play is always being observed. That's what's happening here, right? And love is always emerging also what's going on. See? So I don't believe the ego when the ego tries to tell me you're slipping up. Oh my goodness. I had a really fun experience with that going back to when I first started having sexual interactions with my close friend. Well, and I had the sense, oh my God, this is going so wrong. This is going so bad. What have I done? Da, 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 da. But you know what? that talk didn't need to play in my mind for longer than maybe like 30 seconds. I remember the moment I was driving at the time. Lots of this stuff happens when I'm driving. It's awesome. It's a good portal, the car portal. And it was probably about 30 seconds of that kind of talk. I'm like, nope, that is not going to be a thing. That's not going to be a direction my mind goes, as if there's something wrong with the means. There's never anything wrong with the means. The means are exactly what's needed all the time. Yes, yay, Durga. We can celebrate that, right? We're never getting it wrong. We're observing. Look what's coming out of your mouth. How does it feel? How are they reacting? Notice, am I attacking myself? If I am, I can have that corrected right now. It's awesome. It's a win-win. Either I'm attacking myself and I'm having it corrected right now, or I'm extending love. That's great. How can we go wrong? All of my relating is beautiful. See?
They say something about these systems, these men and women who are selling their systems for how to attract the right partner.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so I decided to do both. I'm like, okay, let's buy one of the dudes' system. And
Okay.
let's buy one of the female.
Okay,
systems.
you've done those systems. They're like thousands of bucks.
Yeah, like
Okay,
1,000.
1,000 each. Okay.
So, and I was already, I had my Course in Miracles foundation,
Uh-huh.
and so what I saw with these systems is it was like kind of tempting me down this other way of seeing my value. So these systems are all based on your persona value.
That's right.
And propping that fucker up, man.
Propping up your persona, right?
Yeah, so I did feel the temptation to try to start following these, but I could tell right away. So yeah, I just kind of had to abandon ship because I was like, oh, we're going down. Like Course in Miracles is like, you can't be wholly committed half of the time. That's like, I would rather be committed to seeing through the self that the ego says is valuable, and I want to find my real self.
Yes.
And it is like and the ego will see that as a sacrifice. Oh, okay, well, you are letting go of everything that I've told you is value about yourself, But yeah, I wonder. So we have these males and these females, and they're kind of thinking that these systems are going to help them, but gosh, they're really missing out on the juice of what you're talking about, where it's like, no, you do not need, if you're perceiving the guy as not valuing you, there's so much richness in there. Like there's so much freedom if you could just see through that energy play.
Yeah.
Of not being valued. I'm perceiving that you're not valuing me. And the fix is to not try to find another guy who's actually going to see your value and do it the right way.
Well, you don't have to try to find another guy. Also, you're not being asked to stay in something where a person doesn't see your value.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to be healing your mind by making yourself stay in a situation that doesn't feel easeful and joyful for you. See, that's another thing that spiritual people do in all kinds of different spirituality. They think that somehow, if they do some kind of sacrificing, that they're going to learn more that way. That's actually sacrificing, though. See, so it's like if you're experiencing someone that doesn't see your value, basically your signal that's coming through is this isn't for you. Simple. It's real simple like that. But we get into these ideas, and the ego's way is to say, well, what if someone else doesn't see your value either? Shouldn't you just settle for this? See, it's up to you to know your value, not to present it. You don't need to present your value. You just live your value. You know your value by living it. It's not something to present. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got all of the information I needed from the man gave 7 points. And I go, okay, okay. There were some of them where I was like, yeah, yeah, that sounds right. Okay. All right. And then, it gets up to this value thing, and it's like, man, we need to work that out within us. And that's as far as like recognizing, okay, this is not reflecting to me the kind of relationship that feels easeful, right? And what is this thing about being afraid of being alone? That's the number one relationship, actually, to be able to be alone and be at ease. Then you know the ease that that you that you would that you would require for some kind of a union with two bodies involved. Like for another body to be involved in my life, there's a certain kind of ease and comfort that I'm requiring that comes with it. It's not just like, okay, I put up with this and I put up with this and I put up with this. No, it's like if it's not fully congruent, hey, I like being by myself. I feel completely at ease. So if it's not the same kind of easefulness, it doesn't enhance that easefulness, then there's no need for it. There's no need for ongoing interaction, going deep with someone, let's say. That's been the trip. It's like, okay, well, I'm getting old now, or whatever your story is. I'm this, I'm that, I'm not enough. I need to just settle. It's like, no, never settle. Never settle. Stay with stay with your own inner compass. Let it show you all the time. I'm not saying you're not going to have things where you have emotional patterns come up, but if both people are on the level of, okay, let's look at these emotional patterns and recognize when we're holding anything and not worry about if the relationship breaks up or anything like that. That's how it's really new. It's like we don't have to try to keep the relationship. Let's just abandon that dream that we need to try to keep a relationship. What is this really for? What is the purpose of relating in the first place? See? When all relationships, when all of these seemingly separate relationships are being used for serving our function, right, which is healing, then they're all fine as they are. And there could be a perception of, getting married or whatever, something like that. That's just still holding their relationship with an open hand. What do we want as far as feeling? We want both people to be wholly at ease and peaceful and feeling good in relating. If that means that the two people are relating is changing or people are going different ways, then that's what it is. There's no need to try to hold anything in its place. See, it's kind of like we're floating down a river or a gentle stream to the ocean, knowing our oneness. There's always going to be experience. It's just that we're bringing paradise mind. We're bringing it through our experience until it's believable for everyone. Right now, the only reason we don't perceive a world that's pure paradise, where no one has to earn to live, for instance, is because of disbelief. It's just disbelief. So our function is really bringing the truth, bringing a paradise mind through our expressions. And this is what's demonstrating to our mind that the truth is true, that we deserve the paradise that's been created for us, and that we have the means to remember it again. We're given, I love that word given. Everything is given. For instance, my seeming habit of smoking spliffs, it's a given. See? You know, the other day it occurred to me, I go, well, yeah, sometimes I get this thought that I want to quit smoking. Then I'll look at it and I'll go, why do I want to quit smoking? There's another thought that says smoking makes you aged and might impair certain things. And and I look at that and go, oh, I just want the peace of God right now. And then relax and receive that right there. These thoughts about the world, they're not meant to be given any concern, no concern at all. They're not meant to be given any concern. So then uh, the next thought was, okay, what about these therapies that I do? What about the idea that those are somehow good for me and make me younger even? and and looking at that, and that's also a meaningless thought, and they go together. So if I believe the thought that the therapies are somehow good for me or making me younger, it also gives power to the spliff to be bad for me and make me older. So what it comes down to is enjoyment. Are you enjoying the spliff? And are you enjoying the therapies? See, the meaningless thoughts, they never meant anything. It's not like we can't take some magic and say that it really works. Like this really works. Gosh, it seems like it really works. uh, like this really works. And believe that a thing has an effect on your body without other things seeming to have effects on your body too. Like you can't pick and choose. Doesn't work that way. It's either all of them have effects or none of them have effects. So I go with none of them have effects. My mind's using anything to make effects. Okay? What do I want? I want seeming effects from the therapies that I do. I want more glowing skin, maybe a few less marks, stuff like that, apparently, right? And look at it. All I have to do there is recognize that I'm using that as a magic wand to get that effect. I'm using it to get the effect. That is very different than it has some power to affect myself. Okay? Now, look, with the spliff, what am I using for? What effect do I want from a spliff? Nothing. I don't want anything from it. The smoking it as it is the enjoyment.
Well, and two, so therapies, smoking, they are all the same in that they're a means for the Holy Spirit to help you awaken.
That's right.
At least they're equal in that.
Yes.
And then the phrase this week that was juicy for me was, what am I investing with fear? And I was envisioning these two little bank accounts.
Okay.
I'm like, the means are the same. Smoking, therapies. Which bank account are they residing in? The one that was like invested with fear, or the one that was like invested with the Holy Spirit? You know,
right, right.
Fun little like.
Yes, that is a really
yeah.
good point. Yes, yeah. Really good point. So everything, let's say smoking spliffs and doing therapies and everything else, it's like, what's it invested with? Is it invested with fear, or are you giving it to the Holy Spirit? And you know, what I'm articulating to you right now is an example of how you give those experiences to the Holy Spirit. It's like the Holy Spirit is all for your joy. So it's like, look at it, okay? From my perspective, it's like, what do I want? What effects do I want to make the spliffs give me? None. No effects. Okay. So great. No effects. Just the enjoyment of the smoking the spliff. That's fucking great. What about the therapies? The therapies, I love the therapies. I enjoy the therapies. They're really fun to do. What effect do I want from the therapies? Okay, a whole host of things. I want better circulation, um, better functioning all around, sparklier skin, whatever the situation is, better teeth, whatever. I can use it as a magic wand. There's nothing wrong with using magic. It's just what hurts our mind is mistaking magic for healing. Okay? Magic will never be healing. That's not what it will be. We can use it as a magic wand. Okay, here's the effects that I'm going for. Still, you're not attached to the outcome of the effects. That's the thing. It's just enjoying in the moment, enjoying using everything for the Holy Spirit. For one, what I like about it um, is heat. Light, well, that's more than one. Heat, light. I am even enjoying the cold. I go in cryo for a couple minutes. And the compression is just, it's all really sweet. Time meditating. I love it. And do I expect it to have effects? Yes, I do, because my mind is powerful to make effects. And here's what I'm saying, what effects I want it to seem to have. That's all. It's simple like that. And so then so this is an example, practical example of how we're using things for the Holy Spirit's function. We're just not mistaking them for something that they're not. And we're not going, going into these places going, okay, to make this worthwhile to the Holy Spirit, I've got to tell someone something deeply spiritual here, or I've got to correct someone's miscreative thoughts while I'm in here. Otherwise, it's not going to be given to the Holy Spirit. No, it's not like that at all. You don't have to connect with anyone like that. It's not necessary. It, you know, you just knowing the truth, you just knowing the truth that you are one with everyone. So, the truth of unity, that you're one with everyone. It's all innocence, it's all peace, it's all love, all that. And also that awareness in tandem with complete confidence in what you're manifesting. That's a self you made, that's everything. All the other people, that's everything. Complete confidence to be the means that you need. You don't need anything special to happen. And that's a practical example of giving it to the Holy Spirit. I know how this stuff gets misconstrued all the time. What is being talked about in A Course in Miracles? People get caught up with thinking that they're supposed to give someone a concept in there. I'm going to look out for anything miscreative and I'm going to correct it by correcting anyone who's being miscreative. It's not like that. It's like this. This is how it sneaks in. Gosh, I hope these therapies work. They're kind of expensive. This is stretching my budget a lot just to be here. They better do something, otherwise, I'm going to be pissed at these chicks. Wow, what if they really just ripped me off? That's the ego. And it's not bad. It's a matter of recognizing that when that starts to play, when something like that starts to play. As you recognize it and you go, oh, that's just the ego. It doesn't mean anything. So you get back to enjoying yourself.
That's like a very impersonal thought. That's like a common thought that's circulating. So you're doing your part by um, seeing where you're choosing to invest fear into that thought, and it's helping the whole thing to dissolve because we're all it has a flavor. That thought is
Yes.
has a flavor that's just very impersonal. It's weaving in and out of all these different perceptions.
Yes, all ego thoughts are impersonal and each of them have a certain tone that resonates through the entire sonship. So when a thought of a certain tone, like let's say, what if I got ripped off, or these therapies better work, or something like that, then what I'm encountering there is a collective worldly tone. And what happens when it meets with my energy field, when I'll look at it and just notice it's a meaningless thought. It's like it vibrates more into harmony. That's the dissolution. It's like the fear isn't even really there. So it's like it just takes it to it takes it back to the truth. It's like that doesn't really mean anything. And I have had thoughts like that arise in my consciousness. I just don't mistake those thoughts as if they're real or if they're me. And, I've heard that 5G is broadcasting. All of this is symbolic. It says not really happening. Nothing's really happening. 5G is broadcasting thoughts, and they're actually on a vibratory level broadcasting thoughts. I've heard someone say this, and we get thoughts all day that are not ours. Well, here's the thing, you don't need 5G for that. That's just how the illusion works. All thoughts about the world are not yours, they're not actually yours. Okay. It's like desire, that's the closest thing you could say that's you. Because the only true desire is the desire for uh, seeing past this illusion completely. That's the only true desire. Union. It's knowing what creation is. It's being in creation. That's the only true desire. Now, desires for experience, they all desire is desire for experience. That's a particular feeling. It's very innocent. But what's been trained into our consciousness is to make that evil, to make this innocent desire evil. And that's what skews everything. It makes this desire that's attached, effortful, vindictive. There's no need for that. We don't need to do that anymore. We're kind of like past that now. It's desire without making anyone wrong. It's very simple innocence wanting to be deeper in joy, love. And that's just how it is. As long as there's an illusion afoot, there's going to be desire for more. Isn't that so fun? So it's like holding the desire for more, AKA better, with the truth that you already have it. It's holding both simultaneously. And that's where the real juice is. That's where you feel like you're not making any choices in the world. You're not making any decisions on your own. Because you don't know how to attain the desires in the world. But you do know, if you've been following and you've taken a course in miracles before, you do know what voice to listen to to attain your true desire, which remember, you already have, because you already have seen past this world. You're just playing this out. You already have the truth. You are the truth. You can say that. More than just have it. It seems like having it in the world, but in truth, you are the only truth. And allowing your desire brings about the experiences that you are ready for when you're allowing your desire. You know, it's kind of like there's a couple of different phases here. When you're not ready to allow your desire, when you're resisting your desire, all of your experience are trying to beckon you to release your desire. Release it from the confines you put around it. You know, you can relate desire with the heart. You know, it's kind of like putting chains around your heart when you're resisting your desire. So when you're resisting your desires, your experiences are coming around to beckon you to release your desire. Once you release your desire and just let it be free, then you really get the sense that you're not making any decisions in the world. It's just kind of like obvious. Oh, that's next. That's next. Oh, that, okay. And whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I could find myself playing video games on my phone for hours. It's the same. Going dancing, I'm making love, I'm taking a shower, I'm going, I'm writing on my computer, whatever. It's all the same in that it's all on that flow. I'm not making any of those decisions. I'm noticing how I feel. And I'm using that as letting, I'm just really not even using it, letting it be information. Full confidence in the self I made and full confidence in the experiences that are arising. And that's why people get moody, you know, thinking their experience isn't good enough. And the experience is always perfect, and you are always perfect. The feelings, the changeful feelings, those are directional. So let's see. What about things like sexually transmitted diseases, yeast infections, stuff like that? One of my friends was sharing with me. Well, it was after I asked, I think I asked her husband something about his penis. I told him, oh, something about getting more circulation to his penis. And his wife goes, I don't want him to have more circulation to his penis. I'm done with that. I'm like, you're done with it? She's like, yeah, he came in me, and then the next thing I knew, I had a yeast infection. He's got bad cum. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, that, thanks for sharing that with me. It was hilarious. It was a hilarious conversation. So that's a common thing, to think that someone gave you something, and that doesn't happen. That cannot happen. That's not possible for anyone to give you any kind of anything. The thing, it reminded me of sexually transmitted diseases, right? Um, she's got she's got an effect of something they seem to do together, but it's not really coming from him. It's really just an effect of a mind thinking in separation. It's a temporary effect. It's sickness, basically. And I think it was A Course in Miracles where I read something about diseases like that, ailments like that, that have to do with sexuality, has to do with having sex in an unloving way. They're using sex for something that's unloving. And I think that's pretty easy to do because a lot of the times, it's goal oriented. Like you have to get something out of it for it to be worthwhile, let's say. Let's say you have to, like, it's not going to be a good experience unless you have an orgasm, for instance, right? And it's like, can you still enjoy like just experiencing, just exploring, just loving, not hoping for any kind of outcome, not making it transactional. That's another thing that's really common. And it's kind of hidden too. So I would always look at it like that. Like if I got a yeast infection or um, any kind of STD. I know I can't really get those, but get the perception that I got something like that. The way I would look at it is that it's a projection of sickness in the mind and sickness around sex. That doesn't make it wrong or anything like that. My mind's just open for correction. You know what keeps my mind open for correction is not projecting that it has anything to do with me making a bad choice in the world or or the guy being dirty or bad or wrong for me or anything like that. That's what keeps the mind open. See, it's not going to keep the mind open just deciding he's got bad cum. I don't want his dick in me anymore. He's got bad cum. That is not going to keep your mind open. What keeps your mind open to the error that caused the illness? That's what a yeast infection is, reflecting mental illness. Your awareness that it's projecting and reflecting mental illness that's ready to be corrected. That's why it's being projected. That's what opens your mind to the healing. See how the closed mindedness just completely shuts it down. You can't do it. You can't have the healing and also the closed mind that what you're experiencing is caused by his bad cum. That was the word she used. Bad cum. Dirty cum, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So keeping it clean is about keeping your mind clean. You may also wash yourself. That's also nice. People like it, especially if they're going to have their, never mind. It's keeping your mind clean of these ideas of cause and effect. Like having sex with them did this to me, right? I had a sense after the second guy, the guy who came from Canada to go dancing with me, um, for 2 days I was having kind of like an afterglow. Like I just like had this sense in myself. It was like, ah. I even can smell him for a little bit because I didn't wash my hair for a couple days. Ah. Like that. But it comes with no attachment, no need to do it again or anything like that. It is like, so delightful. And that's how to have these experiences. It's like they're perfect. And even the one where it was like, how was that for you? That was actually the worst sex I've ever had. And still, it's a delightful because of the healing that takes place. Every experience is just so sweet. It doesn't register as something that shouldn't be. You know, do I want to? do it again, either interact with either of those guys at any point in time, that remains to be seen. I don't know. It depends on the play. I told I told one guy, I said, it depends if I enjoy your company, because he kept on asking me what I want to eat. And he goes, how about if I surprise you? And I go, well, it depends. If we're going to do that, it depends on if I enjoy your company. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And I go, well, your presence, your attitude, your sincerity, your emotional intelligence. If I'm jiving with that, I'll eat anything.
Preferably sushi.
I do like sushi. Thank you for reminding me that.
Would be a good reason to go up to Canada though, because Canada does have better sushi.
They do?
Yeah, so
Okay. I'm totally being invited to Canada, and I have a passport. So we'll see.
Go for the sushi, girl.
I'll go for the sushi. Yeah. This reminds me, I got to tell the story. This reminds me, I was on a date when I was, it was before Tony, so I must have been like 20 or something. And I was sitting across from my date, and the conversation went to sushi. And I said, "Oh, I love sushi, like my favorite." He's like, "Oh, I can't stand it at all. I hate raw fish." And I go, "Usually when guys say that, they also don't like to go down on women." And he said, "Yeah, I don't do that either." And I didn't say one more thing. I just got up and I left the fucking date. I demonstrated to my mind right there. We were not having any of that. We're going to be eating fried food and he's not going down. That is the end of the date. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't. However everything unfolds, it's perfect for us. And any kind of cruelty that we perceive, that's really an opportunity. It's not an opportunity to see the other people as cruel, but to notice how much cruelty do we tolerate? Just notice it. How much cruelty do we tolerate? One way we tolerate cruelty is not to recognize that's cruelty, right? Yeah, see it. Oh, that's cruelty. And what happens for us is we'll recognize it down the road where we've been tolerating it for a little bit. So when we notice, oh, we've been tolerating cruelty, then you stop doing it. And that's just a matter of, do you want to hang out with me today? No, thank you. That feels cruel to me. I'm not going to do it. Oh, Glenn. Okay, Glenn. Glenn, Glenn, Glenn said, "Come out here and I'll give you some crabs." He's in Canada. Oh man, you're so fun. Glenn, I might like getting crabs from you, actually. No, you can't. You can give me crabs, the kind of crabs that you eat. I think that's what he has in mind. Um, but yeah, you can't not. One of my friends is just like ridiculously promiscuous, and she's just really clear and sure she cannot catch anything. And she's been at that for many years. It's like, would you just be willing to see that a manifestation of any kind of disease, any kind of sickness, is a reflection of sickness, sick thinking. These are attack thoughts. And a lot of the times people don't realize what are attack thoughts. Attack thoughts attack, what do they attack? Innocence. They attack being, they attack your trust, they attack your faith, they attack your peace. That's what an attack thought is. Don't confuse that with just your experience. Your experience isn't an attack thought, it's just an experience. Attack thoughts attack the experience, and they attack the one who made the experience, which is you, which is you.
Well, it's like with anything, it's so let's say you've got like an STD and it keeps kind of flaring up and stuff like that. That is the minute you meet that with gratitude, like it's just like welcoming, and then I mean that's it. You'll feel what it feels like to fulfill your function, like
Yeah.
meet the pattern with 100% gratitude. Thank God I got another outbreak. And who then even, it's not being attached to how it actually or how it seems to manifest physically, but just to get that sense, what is it like to meet a pattern
Yes.
with
Well, it
maybe,
changes the pattern
yeah,
because normally what happens, like let's say you have herpes, okay, going on and it recurs, so it'll flare up again, right? Or any kind of sickness that seems to flare up again and again. And it keeps on coming around. When it comes around, your willingness to recognize that's mental illness, that actually helps with the symptoms because now the symptoms don't have a cause. You're saying it's mental illness that needs to be corrected. It's asking to be corrected right now. That's all it is. So so when you're looking at it like that, you stop perpetuating the pattern. You're actually introducing a new pattern. In this pattern, you look at venereal disease or any kind of disease as a reflection of sickness in the mind, mental illness. That's the new pattern. And, excuse me, and that, oh, it's still there. And that pattern gets looked at as this is an opportunity. So that pattern that's just been used to being a victim pattern, now I have herpes, I guess I just have to deal with these outbreaks. We're changing the pattern now whenever a flare up comes along, or even thinking about herpes or anything like that, is recognizing that this is mental illness and perceiving it right now as also an opportunity. So it's how you would look at it. Okay, Durga, how to best heal self cruelty. Hmm. First, recognize what it is. See it, recognize what it is. You guys, everyone is so hard on themselves. You might say that that's kind of like a knack that I have, that I'm super sweet to myself, comparatively speaking. Okay? That's why it seems like I'm further ahead because I'm just willing to be really accepting and confident in the self that I made. So, kind of makes the self a little bit bulletproof to anyone else's idea of how it should be. See? And so that gets demonstrated all the time. When you're recognizing any thought that even questions, like if you're going to get better at your agenda, if you're going to get better at doing your self-care tomorrow, if you're going to stop acting a certain way or anything like that. Anything non accepting of the self that you made, number one is recognizing that. Also, anything that seems to be about another person, that fucking idiot, for instance, that's that self cruelty. All you're doing is recognizing, oh, that's the self cruelty that I'm healing now, right? You're healing it now by seeing it. Just seeing it is very helpful. You don't have to say, I'm not going to do that. You just recognize that is cruelty. Do not mistake cruelty or confuse cruelty with helpfulness. That's the ego's way. The ego confuses cruelty with being helpful and also with being honest. Okay? The self that you made is totally perfect the way it is. Totally perfect. It's ideal just as it is. And if there's any sense that you want to change it, maybe change your body, change your personality, anything like that, great. That's the desire I was talking about. Let it be free. Let it be free. Okay? Because the self you made in the whole experience, it's totally changeful. And it's always going to be changing up until the point where heaven is revealed to you. And then that's eternal. That's eternity. And you like it like that. You're glad that it's eternal. Right? The changes are taking place according to desire. If you have your desire all strangled, then the changes are taking place. It's always changeful, but it may look exactly the same to you. With the same apparent self condemning thoughts, with the same apparent behavior. That's what happens when you suppress, imprison your desire. Let your desire be free. Of course, you want to be able to communicate nicer to yourself. Of course, you do. So, notice number one, when you're being cruel to yourself. Number two, how that feels. Do I like it? Would I keep it? It's that simple. And that's what A Course in Miracles teaches. Would I keep this? You got to know if you like it first. And that comes through feeling. Feeling tells you, do I like this? That's important. That's important information. A lot of people get into the sacrifice thing. It says all over A Course in Miracles, don't sacrifice. Sacrifice isn't love, right? But so many people who do A Course in Miracles end up sacrificing because they think they should endure certain situations in order to get the healing that they want. That's not it. You don't have to endure anything. You're told that you need do nothing, and you're told that there's no sacrifice in love. And you're told that God's will for you is perfect happiness. See that? So it's like you don't have to do anything about anything. You just notice, like for me, it was just noticing all of this sense, like I don't belong here. Like in my particular environment where I was with my family and having a business and everything like that, there was this ongoing sense, I don't fucking belong here. I'm not meant to be here. There was this ongoing sense of it. At first, I was just like pushing that down, pushing that down, pushing that down. That was wrong. I was being cruel to myself. I wasn't letting my desire be free. Eventually, I let my desire be free and then just let the steps unfold. And then it's not a matter of ever getting to anything where you're like, yes, this is it in the world. No, it's like, yes, this is it in your mind. You're allowing your desire to just be free. And you're allowing yourself to be guided according to it. That's the place to be. There's nowhere to get to. All experience is just unfolding from that. All activity, all action, all apparent decisions that I seem to make in the world, all orchestrated according to my desire. When anything seems to not work out well, anything, I don't need to analyze it or anything like that unless I'm hooked. If I'm hooked, I need to see the patterns. If I'm not hooked, which I'm usually not, if I'm not hooked and something seems to go wrong, like let's say some appliance breaks down, or oh, I got a light out in the bathroom right now. Just anything like that. I just automatically recognize that that is also coming from a feeling. That's all I do. I just really just recognize that's what it is. I don't try to fix it. I don't try to make it so that no lights go out or anything like that. I don't try to fix the world. I just notice and acknowledge that something not working anywhere, directions get messed up, anything like that. Since everything's coming off of feeling, and all feeling that things are manifesting have come from me, then it's just noticing that comes from an upset feeling. That's all. Anything seems like it's going wrong, that comes from an upset feeling. And so you're training your mind to be receptive to correction and not making it as if it's outside of you. It's not being mean to yourself. It's not saying you did anything wrong. These are all givens. They're all the means for undoing this world. And ultimately, that's what we're doing. We're undoing. So I'm really happy for my husband, Tony, who I'm still married to right now. I'm guessing we're probably going to be doing some kind of dissolution. He came out here to visit and he seemed pretty hopeful that we would be getting back together, or at least I would be really interested in him. And that did not occur. We had a beautiful time. We did not have any kind of disagreements or any kind of bad energy, like nothing like that. It was just really sweet and loving. And then it just came really clear to me that's not what I'm doing, at least right now. That was just like really obvious. That's not what I'm doing. Um, I'm dating. So he decided that he would, or apparently, he just apparently decided that he would not talk to me for a little while because he feels like heartbroken. It feels like loss, like he's losing or has lost the love of his life. And he's holding that together with um, feeling a lot of love for me. So I welcome that and I bless that. I said, I totally get it. And then I heard that he's hanging out with a woman and doing all kinds of dancing. So I'm really happy for him. I'm, I'm I think he's just dancing all over the place. I know the woman he's dancing with, and she's a real sweetie, and she loves to dance. So I think he's just dancing all over the place. And I know the last time we were together, which was like just a few weeks ago in Hawaii, we went dancing, and he just had such a nice time. I did too. It was really fun. But I just saw, wow, he's really enjoying this. He was like, I enjoyed that so much. I'm going to start dancing all the time. So started dancing, connected with a woman. um, so stoked for him, and I'm happy that he communicated that boundary with me. He's like, I just need to not talk to you for a little bit. It's like, I'm sure we can be great friends once this this unwinds. So that's beautiful. I find it just beautiful however everything unfolds, and the way all of my relating is just unfolding with so much love and understanding and awareness that we're not really losing anything. Now, I did not tell him that in my message back to him after he's saying that he basically told me he lost something. He lost me. He lost the love of his life. Um, it occurred to me that's not true. He doesn't lose anything. The relationship has just changed. It's not in the way he thinks he prefers it right now. Um, but, that's one example where I wasn't called to tell him something like that. There's just offered understanding and care and sweetness in that moment. And seeing, how a lot of the times, and especially for me, because I talk so much and I'm so studious and I seem to be teaching a lot, where it seems to be my responsibility to just teach people things all the time. What's really been coming up for me lately is I like it in my regular interactions. I enjoy not being the teacher. I think that's fun. Yeah. So allowing that to be more and more, and, seeing this thought that would have held me to this almost like an obligation to be teaching. I see something. The thought is, I see something they don't see. Something's wrong. They need to be corrected. I need to say this. I need to say my truth. I've done that a lot. I started doing this a long time ago. I started on Facebook in 2009 saying shit that people are going, what the fuck is she saying? So I've actually gone through a phase of being a teacher. And I'm not saying I'm not going to continue to do these online ones. It's just that I'm feeling more and more comfortable and noticing a lot more ease, allowing myself to just relate with people, not as the teacher, so they could say all kinds of things. And, I've been doing this a lot anyways. Otherwise, I'd be constantly teaching. It's just that a lot of the times people look at me, and even in dating too, they'll go, "Oh, wow, I could learn a lot from you." And it's like, okay, well, that's not really the dynamic I'm looking for. But it was the dynamic I was looking for. And that's where I thought my value was. And, these are just thoughts that I see through the process. I just see, I thought my value was in being the spiritual one who can bring this information to people, who can help them heal themselves in real time. Well, I actually charge for that. I got on my website if you want me to come or you want me to talk to you in person. Um, or if you just want some help and you don't seem to have the funds, reach out to me. If I'm inspired, we'll do it. What inspires me? I get the sense that it's going to be really potent for you. That's what inspires me. If it's not going to be potent, if you're just fucking around, then I know. So, yay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for Wisdom Dialogues. I'll be back again on Wednesday, and we're going to have another ACIM deep dive. We're on Chapter 3, Part 2, Special Principles for Miracle Workers. So good. I'm loving it. So, same time, 3 to 5 Pacific time. I'll be here doing this till April, and then who knows what happens after that. Durga. Your transparency is inspiring. Good. I'm so glad. Yay. Thank you. Thank you for noticing, and thank you for looking at it like that. I love you so much. And to send donations, please consider donating. If you like Wisdom Dialogues, you like ACIM Deep Dive, please consider donating. I have it set up so you could do monthly. That's really nice because then it seems like something that I can depend on, apparently. Anyways, I'm totally open to getting a job if that manifests, and there may be fewer of these or different times. I don't know. Um, so I'm asking you guys to send donations if you feel inspired to do that. Do it at hopejohnson.org, or you can send PayPal to, oh shit, I don't know. You gotta get a hold of me. I love you. Thank you. Okay, yes, crabs are in the bucket. Okay, Glenn, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Mahalo, aloha, and a hui ho. Woo!